I haven't been doing live social media that much, or not like I was anyway. I still get on occasionally from time to time, but um, anyway, so wanted to get on and say hello. I've been having issues for about the last week with, well, actually, I've been having issues for 4 years with fevers and wildlife and feces, internal issues. And I kept running a really high deadly fever, and didn't know why. Anyways, I bought an octoscope, and it connects to my cell phone. It's this little thingy right here. It connects to my cell phone, and got a camera on it. Hold on, see, it's a camera, and you stick it inside your ear like that, and whatever the camera sees pops up on your cell phone screen. So, anyways, that was how, and I think I got 7 feeds, 6 or 7 feeds with one look. So I don't know if what I had was real or not. But anyways, it came up with what looked to be tiny bats inside of my ear canal, and I think they've matured. Somebody said it takes up to 7 years for a bat to fully mature and become venomous, or develop, for it to develop. But anyways, so I've been feeling these tiny like little bites or little pokes on the inside of my brain on the right side, and it started, I think, almost a week back. So I've been extremely off my rocker, and I've been getting fluid on my brain, and I've been fevering again. So, anyways, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's had me extremely off my rocker, and I've got to find a way to get rid of it before it completely deadens my brain, and causes, it's already started, total organ failure. And that's based off my personal opinion. I may be wrong, but anyways, so I've got to go have blood work done and see what that shows. And I'm guessing it should show the toxins and venoms, as well as numerous bacteria and infection. Um, it should dime the species. Um, and I think you've only got a certain amount of time after the bite to get the anti-venom, because there's an anti-venom for bats. But I think somebody said you only have up to 72 hours after the bite to get it, and then after that, it's basically pointless. But that was hearsay, so I don't know. Anyways, so enough rambling. It's being done purposely too, in my opinion, and people have invaded my privacy, like, all the way, and are watching, sitting back and watching. Some are basking in the glory of it. Um, some feel justified in it. And some are back to strutting it has me because of it, and counting down the days to when they can fully step in has me. Because, being me is just wonderful. Um, Anyways, a lot of it was traced back to, I used to have an ex stepsister. Whenever I was a teenager, she used to live in a psych ward, and that's where some of the issues were coming from years ago. Then there was a neighbor in my old neighborhood in Noblesville at Grayland Place. He was known to be in and out of psych wards, so a lot of it came from there. What were the other four, or the other three? I'm gonna forget the one that meant the most, and it was just recent. It was recently vocalized. and I already forgot it. I can't remember. But anyways, there was like five patients that have been that have lived in psych wards, that have been in and out of them, that were involved in my life and at some point over my life, and a lot of the problems are coming from there, and I can't remember. It was an important one that just came out too. Anyways, I hate when that happens. I'll find out something that'll be um, changing, and it'll be important, and then I'll just forget, and I'll wake up like it's a new day, like no problem. That happens in the community too. It's a common thing, surprisingly. A dangerous thing too. But anyways, I'm still trying to move. I'm on 2 waiting lists for an apartment and still looking for a cheap trailer. And what I want to do is go to an auction and get one, because I can go to an auction and get one from the 70s. It's livable and legal, and I can get it for like 500, 500 to 1500 all day long. And then it would be a matter of finding somebody to drive it to whatever piece of land. So it would basically be about buying the piece of land and then having it moved from the auction to the land, which could all be done in for under $1,000. Could be 1,500 if I had to hire people to actually do it, but maybe $2,000. But if I had people to do it for me, it could be done for under $1,000. So, but I don't have it like that with nobody. So, what it should cost, the land should be the most expensive thing, which should be, you should be able to get for about 5 to 10 grand. Is the whole thing's going to end up costing me about 15 to 20 for a decent place to live, because I don't have the means to do anything or the connects needed. And I'm solo these days, like 24/7, so I don't have anybody that I talk to or hang out with anymore. So something that should be so easy and should take less than 24 hours. Here we are 3 months later, and I still haven't moved. But hopefully something will change soon, because my health is getting worse, and I've got to do something to change this rut that I'm in. But anyways, I'd like to get back to a quiet, private, normal life where I'm not public or put out there publicly or targeted. But it's not looking good at this time. So the problems I'm having and me being made a target and kept as a distraction is causing nothing. I'm not having anything private, and everything about me should be private. But anyways, it's causing issues. People aren't wanting to rent to me because of the problems that are coming with, and the identity theft is back in full swing. And one of the ones that I had one of the most problems with, or that the people in my life had the most problems with, I think it was more to the people in my life that had the problems with, because I think I was still oblivious to it. But she seems to either be back or it surfaced in some way. And it's now, it's been an issue for me for years. And it's, the more she gets away with, the worse it gets. And I've got bats in my head, for crying out loud, people, and that's not normal. That should not be a thing. But it is. So, And the amount of wildlife that have been in me and my kids both over the last decade is unbelievable. So, but nobody thinks anything of it. Or maybe they're waiting on us to croak. I'm not sure which. But anywho. So, anyways, I wanted to say hi and ramble. And you guys are sitting there thinking I'm crazy. Um, I'm wondering how to rid my life of the crazy people that are after me. But anywho. So I'm now 43. I turned 43 last week. I'm trying to grow my hair back out, and it's been about 4 years ago that I shaved it to a centimeter in length. And I've been trying to grow it back out since, and somebody keeps cutting it in my sleep. Or I'll wake up one day with it being a certain length, and then the next day it'll be shorter. Then the next day it'll go back to having the length. So I don't know if somebody is taking my outer, my whole outer as a suit, or if it's being made to appear a different length, or if I've got bats inside my head that are pulling in hair by hair and making it shorter. I don't know what it is, but it's driving me crazy. So, anyways, and one of the waiting lists that I'm on requires a background check, which is whenever I have to go in. I already went and got one and handed it in with the app. They didn't run my prints unless they done it through camera. They could have ran them through the camera system. But before, a couple of decades back, whenever I went in and got my background check, I had to actually be printed with actual ink. So, anyways, I'm gonna have to. When I called to check on the waiting list last week, I was told that I'd have to do the background check again. So I'm gonna have to go in and get my actual prints ran, which I'm wanting to anyway, just for my own peace of mind. But anywho, let's see how that goes. And I forgot what I was doing. Yesterday was President's Day by my calendar. The day before yesterday was my mother-in-law's birthday. So happy late birthday. I sent her a message telling her happy early birthday, but anywho. I should be getting income that I've been waiting on, which should put me up to pretty close to 5,000. So hopefully I'll be able to do something with that. I guess I'm gonna have to look into a piece of land on contract, and have purchase the trailer, and then have it placed, and then pay so much a month. I don't want to do that though, because if I lose my income, then I'll end up losing the whole enchilada. But I may not have a choice. I just want something small, just something big enough for a trailer and a driveway, I guess. But anyways, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got to do something though. So anyways, I guess I'm going to go. I don't agree with that at all. I lost a little bit of weight, and now it is back, and it's driving me crazy. See if I can get this angle right. I didn't catch that. that angle is right or not. That should be a anyways, I don't know if I got that angle right or not, but I tried. It says Michael Jason Riley, 34, of Seymour, Indiana, passed away Thursday, November 21st, 2013, in University of Louisville Hospital in Louisville, Kentucky. He was born May 1st, 1970. Riley Stanton. She was Diana Lynn Riley by birth. And I haven't seen her in several years, but I believe she's the current Stanton now. Survivors included Angela Riley, which is me. I'm Angela Sawyer by birth. Only marriage I've ever had. His mother and stepfather, Diana and Charles Stanton, out of Seymour. Father, Gary Cole, out of Indiana. Jason Tyler Riley, Scottsburg, Indiana. And daughter, Alexandria Elizabeth Dawn Riley, out of Scottsburg, Indiana. Half-brother, Stevie Gay, out of Austin, Indiana. Half-sister, Tasha Dawn Briner, which is, by birth, is Tasha Dawn McIntosh, out of Austin, Indiana. She's also former Tasha Dawn Stamper. I haven't seen her in years neither. Let's see. Stepbrothers, Damon Stanton, Brandon Stanton, and Jalen Stanton, all out of Seymour, Indiana. Ex-stepsisters, which would be Tina Turner out of Austin, Indiana, Natalie Portman, Chelsea Portman, and Bethany Portman out of Geist or Carmel, Indiana. Step-grandpa would be Robert Hickman, married to his grandma, Dorothy. Step-grandma, June Riley, out of Austin. And he was preceded in death by grandfather Edward Riley Jr. and ex-step-grandparents and former guardian Steve and Arby Turner out of Austin, Indiana. Because somebody's strutting that supposedly has him and feels entitled to everything me because he has. That's one of the main things that caused us to get broken into and invaded and me to be stolen from again. And I think they're outspending specific income that I'm waiting on. That they're saying is click funds, and my response to them was that it's legal for me, but it takes click to back them for them to have it. So what's legal for me is illegal for them. Cemetery is Wesley Chapel Cemetery. It was known as Wesleyan. And I don't know if it was a location change or if they changed the name or what. Out of Austin, Indiana. It's Wesleyan or Wesley. Either Wesleyan Cemetery or Wesley Chapel Cemetery. It's supposedly on Bogartis Road in Austin, Indiana. All of this can be found on the funeral home website. It's a possibility that he is alive. It's also a possibility that whoever he's with is has been holding him hostage. Also a possibility that she's supposedly been with him his whole life, and that I had the identity theft. Either way, she feels like I'm not entitled to anything, his name or him, which means she keeps fucking keeping my kids from me. And whatever version of him she starts it with seems to seems to be having power over my life, and that's it shouldn't be going on. I've been single for far too long for you people to be falling for this. Um, and it's an actual issue. And regardless if it's a part or not, it's old and it needs to quit. He was my only marriage, and at this point, I do have grounds for an annulment. And we have been investigated, and by paper, it does appear that that I was his only legal wife, but it also appears that there may have been a double life or an imposter that lived life as him. And actually, the first time the investigation took place, it was determined that there were 5 that lived, ate, slept, breathed all his identity or my family's identities down to our kids. That was supposedly where numerous sets came from with our DNA. So, anyways, that's my calendar, and I believe it is the 18th today. Tuesday, the 18th. Anyways, we've got another winter storm warning expanded into Wednesday, so that ought to be fun. All the snacks I stocked up on last week for this snowstorm we didn't have this time have all been tampered with now, and I don't know how they're getting them to do so, but it is happening, and it is driving me crazy. And I am tired of being trumped in my own life and my own decisions. Especially with me not having nobody in my life and being single for so long. It doesn't matter if it's a part. I don't have nothing to do with parts and don't play parts, and it shouldn't be affecting me. They don't have the right. They kind of don't. And I sat down and wrote down a little list, 2 columns on the front page and 2 columns on the back page, but the back page wasn't completed, of former people that I used to deal with whenever I used to use drugs. And 5 of them are being called into question as being hostage holders and kidnappers to either my kids or kids known as mine, and either my husband, his remains, or somebody known as my husband. And whoever's doing it, feels like she's entitled. And she said, I think I heard out of her that it may have been because she feels that she got ratted by somebody in my family. And so because she feels that she got ratted by somebody in my family, she feels like she's entitled to everything us. And I am just here to tell you that's not the case, and that's not going to fly with me. And I am extremely fed up, and I am tired of being murdered and laying here, and you having so much mind control over my surroundings in life that I can't even get medical treatment for a simple bat infestation that you supposedly caused when you snuck into my bedroom while I was sleeping. Which, by the way, you should not be able to have access to me, and you should not be able to get to me, and quit pushing the whole speech up fucking somebody's trap. Because all it does is make you look fucking ignorant and make him look retarded. And you shouldn't throw rocks when you live in glass houses. And you have no right to be holding my kids or husband or anybody known as mine. Because if they're known as mine and treated like they're mine, then that means it's going to affect me and everything about me. So anyways, the list is made, and I posted it publicly this morning on social media. And it does specify on the list that I haven't seen none for over a decade and haven't dealt with nobody for over a decade. And I am drug free, and I realize that some of them may not be, and some of them may still be living the same life. But you've got to realize that my family isn't the only ones being held hostage, others are, and it's not coming from me. But it apparently is too, because it's apparently my family you're holding also. So, um, just about everybody in the county knows me, so it shouldn't have been nothing. You should have been able to come to me in person and said, hey, let's talk. That's comical. You guys have made it to where nothing about my life, nothing's been private. Everybody's had all access, and you guys have done nothing but ruin me. And you want to blame me. You guys blame me for being the rat for the longest time, and whenever that did, it took over 10 years to clear that up. And that was basically, nobody ever accused me of it. It was all cleaning it up, and it was basically cleaning up their audio from their stupid ass traps and the mind control that they had. So now you guys are saying then you started blaming a cousin of mine, then you started blaming the husband, and now you're blaming fucking who you also blame my mom. So you are doing damage. You've been doing damage the whole time, and it's taken its toll. And I will have your ass for my murder and my family's murders if it's the last thing I fucking do. Trust me on that, because you took it beyond personal, and you had no right. And I shouldn't have to go on publicly on social media and make an ass out of myself to get your attention. Anywho, on that note, I am going to go. I've still got snow outside, and there's apparently more snow on the way. I just don't know which location it's headed to. I've been getting my media mixed up for obvious reasons. Plus, somebody's been working overtime to keep me hid and to keep me on the move from being found. And I don't know if it's me that they're doing it to, or if it's one of my kids that they have dressed up as me. But either way, it's got to stop, and you've gotten away with it for far too long. Sit there and rub the hand. Whenever she rubs the hand and plays with the dress like that, it means she's either got eyes on my supposed grandma, or one known has, or she's sitting there doing it to cause movement, which is a threat. She supposedly still got my grandma out moving around, holding my grandma over my grandma's property on Broadway. And it started, what many people don't realize is that it was also over the Pridemore Ambergey estate out of Kentucky. The one that my grandpa and his siblings were raised on. So, anywho, and what you guys also don't realize is that they all act as my family. They're all imposters to my family, which means they've got the look, the walk, the talk, the finance. They've even got control of the finances. They're pretty convincing people, and it's gotten to the point to where I don't even know who's who anymore, and I just went away from it all and went out on my own, to where I call the shots, and to where if I want to pick up the phone and call the wall and have somebody removed, then that's what I do, or if I want to pick up the phone and file a report because of invasion of privacy on the mic system, or because of cameras that aren't supposed to be there, then I can do that. Which is your guys' problem with me, because that's why you've got me, and you can get to me like that, and you can get to the kids. And you guys are the ones that are making the determinations behind the decisions with my life, with like me not being able to get medical treatment. That was you guys. And you guys had federal badge backing when you done it, and felt justified in doing so, I might add. I was told recently that I had a credible lawsuit against the state of Indiana, and that was one of the reasons why. Second reason was because the 5 federal informants were strutting it as me, and were getting badge backing in doing so. Hello? 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 Anyways, the point is that everything you guys are doing with my identity is affecting me and my family and my surroundings, and it's even affecting the community. And just because I'm down and out and broken in most ways and disabled doesn't mean I can't do anything about it. I can go about it the legal way. I can get an attorney. I can file a lawsuit. I can do a number of different things. So I need you to know that what you're doing has bearing and is life changing, and it is affecting me and mine, and it needs to stop. And you have no justification in doing so. That being said, I'm going to go because I've made a big enough ass out of myself. I don't know how else to put it out there. There was credibility backing it, and it didn't have nothing to do with me. So me putting that list out there publicly is neither here nor there. But I expect there will be retaliation over it as always, where I'm the fucking used to cover the actual fucking person who started the bullshit. And they've also got the legwork laid for my identity to take the heat for it and for my girls to be the ones served up as it, which is what happened in 17 when this shit happened. They just recently caught my kids over fucking an informant from 17. And the kids were pulled up the very second that it happened, and fucking it was pointed out through audio that the kids were whereabouts were known, and they had nothing to do with their ages were pointed out and everything, and they still got them. Well, now it's fucking happening all over again, and now it's going the same way. My identity with my kids being served up as. So the woman's still doing what she does and still gets away with it. So does the man. You guys back them and you let it happen, so you're just as fucking responsible. Keep that in mind before you start screwing with me or mine. Anyways, gotta go.